Yes, Tristan. What do we mean when we give us some sources of water? Oh, I think some learners are having problem of muting and unmuting. Some of you, if you can't unmute, you can write for me. You can write for me in the chat. You can give me some sources of water in the chat. Yes, Anod, give us one. Anod, unmute and give us one. Yes, Anod. Anod, people are talking, but for you can't unmute. But that's not your name. I know you wanted to say, teacher, you pick me. Teacher, I'm also here. So we have sources of water. One, we have rain. And then we said rain is the main source of water because it provides these other sources with the water. So rain becomes the main source of water. We also have rivers. We also have wells. We have streams, ponds. We have boreholes. We have valley dams, lakes, and so on and so on. So these are sources of water that we have. So we also went ahead and looked at some uses of water. Just give me some uses of water. One, let me be specific in the question I'm asking. Give me any 2 uses of water in the body. Okay, give me any 2 uses of water in the body. Alex, can you give me one? Alex? Alex, you unmute and give me one. Alex? Any 2 uses of water. I just want one from Alex. Okay, Akim. Yes, Akim?
Water is used for drinking.
Oh, we are talking about, you listen to my question. My question is, give 2 uses of water in the body. 2 uses of water in the body. Now, if you say water is used for drinking, that's the general use. That can go to a general question. If I just say, give 2 uses of water, then you can say water is used for drinking. That is correct, according to uses of water. But what about in the body? When you drink it in your body, how does it help you there? That is what the question is requiring. You get it? Akim, have you got the question? I said,
yes.
Yes, if they say in the body, meaning that after drinking, how does it help you in your body there? We looked at it last time. Akim, can you say it now, if you can remember? Okay. Joel, Christian, yes, Joel.
It is a digestive juice.
It is so water helps to dissolve digested food for easy digestion. That is one use of water in the body. That water helps to dissolve digested food. So when you eat food, it will dissolve it. After dissolving it, then digestion will take place easily. Remember, we said digestion is the breaking down of food into soluble particles that can be absorbed by the bloodstream. So water helps to dissolve digested food in the body for easy digestion. So another one, yes, another use of water before we go to our next lesson. Another use of water. Okay, there are people there. Tina, yes, Tina. Tina, can you give me another one? Tina, another use of water in the body? Oh, but I have seen they have allowed you to unmute and then you talk, but you cannot. Yes? Okay. Mirundi, it cools the body. Very good, Tina. It cools the
body.
Very good. So water helps to cool the body. It helps in cooling the body. Remember, if it is very hot during sunny days, when it is very hot, you find you are taking a lot of water. Why are you taking that water? Because you want to cool your body. You are feeling hot. You are not comfortable. So when you take water, it will cool your body. It cools the body. Very good. Very good for that answer. So, and many others, like we say, water water maintains the shape of the body cells. It makes up some part of the blood, like the plasma. So some of those are the uses of water. Then now we have other uses of water. For example, somebody can generalize and say for domestic use. So when we say domestic use, you will find water is used for cooking. So can you name other uses of water? Can you give other uses of water? Yes, Mirembe. Mirembe, can you give other uses of water, Mirembe?
Water in my body.
Yes, Mirembe, other uses of water beside those ones that are used in the body. Yes, Mirembe. Are you able to unmute? Yes, Mirembe, can you unmute and talk? Give me other use. Don't you use water at home? Mirembe, don't you use water at home?
We use water at home.
What do you use water for at home?
What is it for baby?
We are with Mirembe. Yes, Mirembe.
We use it for washing.
You use it for washing. Very good. Another one, Mirembe. What else do you use water for apart from washing?
Cooking.
Yes.
For cooking. Very good. For washing. Very good. Thank you so much, Mirembe. So those are some of the uses of water that we have. Thank you so much, members, for reviewing that lesson successfully. So now, since our heading was that day, okay, now let's keep quiet and listen. I don't want to restrict you from...
It's not long.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, since we said our heading was preparation of safe water for drinking, now what we are going to look at right now is methods of obtaining clean water. Yes, we are going to look at methods of obtaining clean water and safe water for drinking. How do we get clean water? How do we make water clean? How do we make water safe for drinking? That is what we are going to learn right now. We are going to look at the methods of obtaining clean water and safe water that we have. So that is basically what we are going to learn today. So this is our sub-heading, that methods of obtaining clean water and safe water. So remember, water can be clean when it is not safe. So it means that some methods can only make water to be safe, but some method can make water to be clean. So once you make water clean, then you must make it safe if you want to drink. So that is what we are going to learn right now. Methods of making clean water. So I see some answers already flowing here. Like Michael has said, boiling. Thank you, Michael. Somebody has said, Divine has said, treating with chemical. Thank you. Those are some of the answers. Those are some of the methods. Yes. Filtration from Michael again. Yes. Decanting. Very good. Those responses from the chat is what we want. If you can put answers in the chat, that will be very good. Mark also is saying decanting. So those are the methods. Those are the methods. Today I've seen responses. Distillation from Travis, distillation from Nachitende. Okay. So those are some of the methods that we have to make. Now, some of the method you are saying, when we talk of treating, we shall look at it. Because if you say treating and then you are saying chlorine, chlorines, those are now those chemicals that we use it for treating water to make it safe for drinking. So let's put some of those methods that you have been mentioning in the chat. Let's put them down. Here I have said some of the methods used to prepare clean and safe water for drinking include: 1, decanting or decantation method. Somebody can say decanting or decantation method. I want some of you to read, because some people may wish to read the first point that we have given. And once I pick you, please unmute and then you talk. Unmute and then you talk. And then make sure you don't make a lot of noise. Good. Okay, let me see. Ethan, yes, Ethan, are you able to unmute and talk? Ethan? Okay, are you there? Treating irrigation. Galaxy, Galaxy, you are telling me irrigation. Do you know what irrigation means? When we talk about irrigation, this is just, that irrigation is just the method that you use to sprinkle like water in the garden when there is like in dry season or where there is no rain. People try to improvise. People try to provide water to the garden. That's what they call irrigation. So that process does not make water clean for drinking, neither does not make water safe for drinking. So irrigation, let us not put it in our mind. Yes, Samuel. Samuel, can you read for us? You said teacher me in the chat. Yes, Samuel, you read for us what we have written. 1 point. Okay, Eric, you can unmute them. Then after we can do that again, so that I can have some interaction with them. Thank you. So let me pick Richard. Yes, Richard, can you read for us the first point? What is the first point? Richard. Okay, thank you. Decanting or
water
Some of the methods
clean and safe water.
okay, good. Thank you, Eric. We have given them opportunity.
some of the methods
Used to prepare
Okay, you read and then
water.
okay, read.
Include
Decanting or decantation
decanting,
method.
Everybody read.
decantation method.
Safe water
Everybody read.
decanting
video. I can
or decantation method.
Okay, very good. So
Some of the
Eric, you
methods
can.
used
Is used to prepare.
So some of these methods which are used, we have decanting, which we shall look at this method one by one. We have decanting. 2, we have what we call filtering or filtration. This is the second method that you can make water clean. Some of these methods we are mentioning, they only make water clean, but they may not make water safe. So for example, decanting or decantation method, it may only make water clean because you will separate that from water. Then that water will be clean without impurities. But once you drink it, it may still have what? It may still have germs. So then also filtration. Yes, we normally use filtration at home. Even decanting, we are ever doing it at home. That's why this topic of ours is science in human activities and occupation. It is basically used at home. We use them daily at home. So there we have. Then also 3, we have a method called distillation. Distillation method also, this is a method that makes water also clean and even safe in this case. It can even be safe for drinking. Only that when you look at distillation into details, distilled water may not be good for drinking because it involves overeating of water, whereby it kills some of the mineral salt in water. So we shall look at them one by one. Then number 4, we have boiling. To me, who is at home, I normally like boiled water. Boiling, it makes water very safe for drinking. So long as you boil it properly up to the boiling point, and then you keep it in a clean container, then that water will be very safe. So we have boiling. Then the last one, we have what we call treating. Now, some of you were saying in the chat like chlorine, and so on and so on. So those are mineral salts. When you talk of chlorine, when you talk of calcium, those are some of the mineral salts like calcium, fluoride, sodium. Those are examples of mineral salt that we have in water. But once we talk about treating, yes, treating, we use chemicals. So what are these chemicals that we use for treating water? I remember there is one that you always use at home. There is one that you always use at home. But when we reach there, we shall look at all of them one by one. So how about today? What should we discuss today? Which method should we discuss today? The method that we are going to discuss today is the first one, which we said, decanting. We are going to look at decanting in 2 details. We're going to look at decantation in 2 detail. So that is basically what we are going to look at. Out of all these methods, let's pick one method and we understand it properly. Because you can use it at home, you can do it in your daily practice. And after this lesson, by the end of this lesson, I am going to ask you to go and do some practice on decantation. After this lesson, I will ask you that please go and do some practice on decantation once we finish this lesson. So please make sure you follow this lesson properly. So let's continue. Yes. So as I said that we are going to look at decanting. That is basically what we are going to learn right now, decanting. So I want one person to raise up the hand, tell us decanting, and then give us the meaning. You can read decanting and what is decanting. So let me go back and pick some chat. Let me go back, and some of you can write the answers in the chat. Yes, Edith, Nakaye. Okay, Eric, you can unmute Edith, Nakaye, Edith, so that she can give us.
So you have the permission, you can even tap on that person and ask to unmute.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Edith, I've given you the authority. Can you unmute? Okay, Edith can't. Let me see. Yes, Nelson. Nelson, are you able to unmute? Yes, Nelson. Yes, please. Okay, so I think they are not able to, but I tried to tap on them. They cannot. Let me try all at once. Okay, so let me again pick another person to give us what it means by decanting. What is decanting? Yes, please. Richard, what is decanting?
Gradual pour a liquid from one container into another, for example, to separate solid material from the liquid.
Okay, thank you so much. Then I need to respond to, there is a question in the chat. There is a question raised by this one. You people, you are putting a lot, but there is somebody who raised a very important question I can't find. But if you know you have raised that question, please, I just wanted to let's say, help you. You asked what is chlorination. I know there is one child who asked what is chlorination, because we were talking about methods of preparing clean water. So when we talk about chlorination, this is the process of adding chlorine. Like the mineral salt that I was saying, adding chlorine, the process of adding chlorine to the water, such as the sodium hydrochlorate. So this one, you are entering deep into the science. So when we say chlorination, this is the process of adding chlorine or chlorine compounds such as sodium chloride to water. It is like treating water. Are you getting? The person who asked, it is like treating water, because once you add this chlorine or sodium hydrochloride to water, it will kill the bacteria or the viruses or other microscope that is in what? The microorganism that is in water. It will kill it. So it is just a process of treating water, if you say chlorination, because I have put it generally that it treating water. So, and then you ask me, teacher, what is chlorination? Water chlorination is the process of adding chlorine or chlorine compound such as sodium chloride to water. This method kills bacteria. So it's like you are treating. So somebody who asked that, please, I hope I have cleared you. So once we say treating, then treating, how do we treat water? We add some what? We add some chemicals into water in order to what? In order to kill viruses, in order to kill bacteria. So that is what it means by treating. Okay, I think I've answered that. I answered that question on the chat. And somebody is saying, what is filtration? That one, be patient. That one, you be patient. We are going to learn all those methods that we have talked about. Let's begin with the decanting. Yes, just like my friend. Okay, thank you for keeping quiet. Remember, I told you that for me, when you are talking, I keep quiet, because I was not brought up by exchanging words with my teachers and so on. Once the teacher is explaining, I keep quiet. If the teacher asks me to talk, I talk. So that is how I was brought up, and that's how I want to bring you up. Even at home, once your dad is talking, please allow your dad to talk and respond to him. But once your dad is talking and you're exchanging words with your dad, once your mom is talking and you're exchanging words with your mom, that is bad. That is bad habit that we need to stop. It begins from the classroom. Once the teacher is explaining, please keep quiet. Once the teacher asks you to talk, please talk. Thank you for listening to that simple advice. So we had defined, some of you are saying they can't hear me. I hope people are able to hear me, because sometimes network is not the same. Sometimes you find some network is not good, some network is good. So if majority can hear me, that is fine. So thank you. You have defined decanting, that this is the method. This is the method. Somebody who has asked for filtration, we are going to learn. So let's first deal with the decanting or decantation method. This is the method of pouring. This is the pouring of water, clean water, leaving the settled dirt at the bottom of the container. If you have water which has some that's like maybe solid particles, for example, stones, some mud, you can gently pour this water off from that container to another clean container, such that these dirt which are settled at the bottom will remain at the bottom of the water. So in that way, you are separating clean water from dirt. In that way, you are separating clean water from dirt. Even you can say, this is the removal of solid particles from water after allowing them to settle at the bottom of the container. And then water is carefully poured off to another container. I am saying, if you don't want to say that this is the pouring off of clean water, leaving the settled dirt at the bottom of a container, you can basically say this is the removal of solid particles from water after allowing. So you need to allow the solid particles to first settle at the bottom of what? Of water. Remember, most of these particles are dense, are more dense than water. They go down to the bottom of water. So once they go down to the bottom of water, then water will remain on top. So that water which has remained on top become clean water. So gently pour it, slowly pour it into another container. We shall look at how some people are pouring. I'm going to take you to that, but let's know the meaning of decantation or decanting. So this is the removal of solid particles from water after allowing those solid particles to settle at the bottom, and you carefully pour off the clean water to another container. That's what it means by, yes, that's what it means by decanting. Yes. So this method is used to obtain clean water. This method is used to get clean water. You can get clean water in this method, but this clean water may not be safe for drinking. Are you getting me clearly? Get me clearly, because I can ask you a question. Give me one method of obtaining clean water. You say decanting. Then give me one method of obtaining safe water for drinking. Once you tell me decanting, decanting will not obtain clean water, I mean safe water. It will only obtain for you clean water. So this method is used to obtain clean water from solid particles, for example, stones, leaves, mud, and etc, etc. That water will be able to obtain you, it will be able to separate the stones from clean water. It will be able to separate leaves from clean water. So that is what they are saying here. Note, this method is used to obtain clean water from solid particles, e.g. stones, leaves, and mud. So that is what we mean by decanting. So also we are saying that decanted water, this note is very important, members. Decanted water now, that's water that you have already separated from the solid particle, is now what we are calling decanted water. Decanted water is used for washing because it is clean. It is used for washing, but not for drinking. Why? Why is it not used for drinking? Why is it not used for drinking? Can I get someone to give me a reason why decanting or decanted water is not used for drinking? Why is decanted water not good for drinking? Who is giving me this answer? I can see some, and you, okay, give me. Jacinta, give me.
Because this method does not kill germs.
Yes, decanting or decantation method does not kill germs. It will only separate solid particles from water, but it will not kill germs. Remember, it is germs that can cause waterborne disease to you. Are you getting? Once you drink water that is contaminated, it will cause some diseases to you. So that water is not safe for drinking. It is only good for washing clothes after decanting, after separating it from solid particles. This point, I hope learners, you have understood very well so that we can move to the next thing. Yes, have we understood the point that we have explained about decanting?
Yes.
Do you know why? Yes, can you now be able to tell someone why decanted water is not good for drinking? Are you able to tell someone? If someone tells you, that water you are separating, I am not going to drink it, then they ask you why. You should be able to say, only separating will not kill germs. You have not added the chemicals. You have not subjected it into boiling, so it will not kill germs. So, so that means if you want decanted water to be safe for you, you must again subject it to boiling. Okay. Okay, I am concentrating in explaining. I have some learners who are chatting in the chat there, which is not good. Let's pay attention if you want to learn. Don't waste your mom's data for free. I mean, just for chatting. Yet your mom, your dad has put for you data for you to learn. So if you are just there greeting your friend on the chat, the teacher will go away. Okay. Now, how is decanting done? What are these methods? How do we do decanting? How do I separate solid particles? I have majorly have summarized it in just the three methods. Maybe before I give you those methods, this is what simple way that I want you to go and practice it at home today. I know you have water at home. This is done practically. We can do it practically. Whatever we are going to learn right now, you can, after this lesson, you can do it. One, you can get some, maybe 2 containers. I can just say maybe 2 containers. There are things that we can use it in science, like what we are calling it measuring cylinder and so on. But you can get some transparent cups or glass. Then you get water, which has mixture of solid particles, for example, stone and maybe water. You can get that mixture of solid particles. Then you pour it in one container. So once you pour it in one container, allow it to first settle. Allow the solid particles to first settle. Here, I mean, allow it to first go down to the bottom of that glass that you are using. I'm just giving you what you can afford at home. You can afford the glass, even you can use saucepans. You can use some 2 saucepans or even 3 saucepans if you want to separate in 3 ways. So one, you can get those 2 saucepans or 2 glasses, pour water which is mixed with the solid particles or leaves, allow it to first settle. Remember, leaves may remain on top, but you need to know how you are going to decant it properly. So once they are settled at the bottom, then now carefully from that glass 1, you can even label it as glass 1. From that glass 1, carefully pour it to glass 2. So you pour it slowly so that water only goes to the second glass, not everything. So once it goes there, you will realize that in the first bottle, you will realize that, in the first glass, in the first saucepan, you will realize that the solid particles have remained. They have remained at the bottom. Then you have your clean water separate. So that water now, in that way, you can use it. I know you have ever done it, but you didn't know that you were doing decanting method. You have ever done that. So that is basically how you can decant your water, how you can separate your water, clean water from solid particles. So I have written it in summary form. I've just written it in summary form. I said, yes, somebody can read for us that step number 1. That is how we can decant. That's how we can decant water. Somebody can read for us in summary form. Okay, let me pick. By the way, these ones from down, once I pick you, you don't want to talk. Okay? Once I pick you, you don't want to talk. I don't know whether you know how to mute or you don't know how to unmute. I don't know. So let me try to pick. Okay. I have Doreen and Solomon. Yes, Doreen and Solomon. You can unmute and read for us the first point.
Putting the mixture of solid particles and water in one container.
Very good. So I said, if you want to do the decanting method, if you want to practice it at home, make sure that mixture of solid particles and water is in one container. So after doing that, allow it to settle, please. Don't just put and you start separating. No. Put it, then leave it for some 10 minutes. Let's say 5 to 10 minutes. And then after that, you can now do this. After putting, this is what you can do. You allow it to settle for some minutes. After allowing it to settle for some minutes, then there you can carefully pour it into another container. Here you have. When you allow it to settle, you can carefully pour off clean water on top, because clean water will be on top, then the solid particles will be at the bottom. So you can pour it into another container. So this is how you can do decanting. This is how you can do decanting, members. 1, put the mixture of solid particles and water in one container. 2, allow the mixture of water and dirt, because we can call those solid particles, they are the dirt. Allow them to settle for several hours. I told you, for example, you can allow it to settle for like 10 minutes is enough. If it is not yet ready, you can even leave it for 1 hour. So after allowing them, this allows most of those suspended dirt to settle at the bottom of the container. Then you carefully separate it now. You carefully pour your water, clean water, which is on top. And then, so let's see how this man is doing it. You can see how this person is doing it. I see. Here is decantation of juice. Remember, you can do decantation when you are making juice. You can also do it before you do the sieving. You can first even decant it manually. Are you able to see someone decanting juice? Then you can see these ones have got 2 saucepans. This saucepan up here that the man or the woman is pouring water, it has some dirt. So he's carefully pouring the clean water. Learners, are you able to see? Yes. So this is how you can do decanting. Now, I want to just briefly ask some few questions. This is where we are going to interact for some 5 minutes and we end there. Okay, one question is, give me 4 methods of obtaining clean water and safe water. Name 4 methods. Mention 4 methods of obtaining clean and safe water. Mention 4 methods of obtaining clean and safe water. Yes, Kelly Kananura. Kelly, can you mention, unmute and mention for us 4 methods of obtaining clean and safe water for drinking? Yes, Kelly?
By decanting.
Good.
And by boiling.
Okay, those are 2.
By filtering.
Good.
Distillation method.
Good. Those are 4.
And treatment.
And treating.
Treating the water.
Treating is basically adding chemicals that can kill what? When you say treating water, this is basically adding harmless chemicals that can kill. that can kill what? That can kill germs. Are you getting? For example, the chlorine. For example, the chlorine that somebody asked, the iodine, and so on and so on. So this is basically done by Natural Water and Sewerage Corporation. Their water is always treated. They treat it. But now, once that water comes to your home, remember that water may also be contaminated in the process of them flowing to your home because they come through the pipe. So once they come through the pipe, remember some pipes are broken on the way. So there is a mix up of dust there. There is a mix up of germs. So National Water and Sewerage Corporation, once it comes home, make sure you boil it. It is treated from the source. But once it reaches your tap at home, it might have got contaminated on the way because some pipes are broken. You have ever seen pipe broken on the road, isn't it? You have ever seen water coming out of the pipe. So that is, so that water is treated, but once it reaches your place, make sure you boil. The reason is some pipes is broken on the way. By the time water reaches your place, it is already contaminated. So you have to boil it, but that water is treated. So that is very good, Kelly. The next question is not going to Kelly. The next question is going to someone else. What is decanting? What is decanting? What is decanting? Okay. Okay. Lauren, what is decanting? Make sure you avoid children from making noise in your background. Yeah.
But one day no mute.
This is the pouring of water in the
Pouring of the
bottom of the container.
Lauren, how many people do you have in your background?
This is a pouring of clean water, leaving the settled dirt of the bottom of a container.
And you carefully pour your clean water to another container. Thank you. Then another question, we are summarizing. Another question goes to another question. Let me pick. Another question goes to, I'm going to pick the last person at the bottom. These people at the bottom, they don't have name. Okay. These people at the bottom, they don't have name. They just have the names of their phone. I don't want to call your phone. Yes, Joe and Jojo. Oh, Joe and Jojo is not connected to audio. Okay. Okay, Tanisa. Okay, yes, there is Tanisa down there. Yes. Tanisa, can you unmute? Tanisa. Okay, now listen to the question. Listen to the question. One, list down 3 steps followed when obtaining clean water from solid particles using decantation method. Tanesa, have you heard? List down 3 steps followed when obtaining clean water from solid particles using decantation method. Tanesa, you can at least give one if you can't list all the 3.
A mixture of solid particles and water in one container.
Very good. Continue.
Of water and that to settle at least for several hours in a covered container.
Good girl.
You don't have the answer.
But you have at least said some answers. That is very good. One, you said that put the mixture. You said put the mixture of water and solid particles in one container. So once you put that mixture of solid particles in one container, so what next do you do? After that, you allow the mixture to settle at the bottom of the container. Then after them settling for some several hours, you carefully now pour it into another container. So thank you so much for doing that. You can even see it there. You can even see it there. So basically, that is how we can do decanting. That's how we can do decantation method. So this is the question I have prepared for you. This is the question I have prepared for you. But these questions, we have them in our classroom, Google Classroom. You can go there and find the work is already there. I've already put the work there. You are going to find the work there. For those who are not in Google Classroom, Teacher Eric was showing you how to join Google Classroom. He's going to send the link. He's always sending the link on our WhatsApp group. Good. So if you have any question, you can ask. Otherwise, thank you for being good learners. Yes, Samara, you have any question? Okay. So otherwise, Eric, I'm done with the lesson. Thank you. You can take over. Teacher Eric, you can take over if you have some few information.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Akenya Tonny, for the lesson. Thank you, children, for attending. Majority of you are already on Google Classroom, and I think there are few that are not able. I've shared a class. Let's stop sharing contacts here in the chat. We keep chatting and hide away the important information. Let's stop chatting, all the kids, all the children, stop chatting. I'm going to post some important links in the chat which we can use to join the class. That is the class code link. With the link, you don't need the code. Simply tap on that link and it will take you straight to your classroom. Then the WhatsApp link is also shared. So all the notes, even now, if you check your classroom, you'll find these notes which the teacher has been using to share. And those, I don't know if there are those who are still not able to access their classroom, Google Classroom. If they are still there, I'll briefly, in the next 1 minute, briefly show you how you can access Google Classroom for those who are not yet in the classroom. I'm going to use a phone this time around to cater for those of you who are trying to join using the phone but cannot and are finding problems or errors. In sharing how to join using the laptop in all of the previous lessons, but those who are using the phone, I'm going to show you how to join Google Classroom using the phone. So you make sure that you've installed I don't know who is that me sharing? I don't know who is that sharing. Does that person want to show us how to join Google Classroom? Is there anyone who can show us how to join Google Classroom using a phone? Yes? Okay, if there is no, then if there is no person, then let me
Teacher Eric.
Yes?
Teacher Eric.
Yes, please.
Can you ask Kevin to stop sharing? Okay. Yeah, stopped.
Okay, for those who are using the phone, let me just walk you through on how to do that using the phone. Okay. Okay. So that is my phone. I think we can all see. Are we able to see that?
We are just seeing a white screen.
Okay.
Namakula, Princess Namakula, can you stop sharing your phone? Eric,
Yes.
you're not sharing your screen. Other people are sharing your the screen, their screens.
Shortly.
Okay, someone is sharing a screen, I think.
I think no,
Eric,
yes, please.
maybe you could ask that person to go ahead. That person has shared a screen, and I think it is for a phone.
Okay, is there anyone who wants to share with us how to?
I saw Tanisha. Tanisha, was it Tanisha? Tanisha, I saw.
You want
Someone was sharing a screen. Please call on one of them to share a screen. Oh. Tanisha, can you share your screen with us?
Teacher, how can I share my screen?
Okay. Are you seeing a share screen button at the bottom of your Zoom?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay, fine. Wait for teacher's instructions. Eric. Eric. Hello, Eric. Mimic, are you there?
Yes, Mr. Wang, I'm back. Sorry, my phone went off.
Tanisha was trying to share a screen. I don't know that she's still available.
Yes, Tanisha, you can proceed. Tanisha, got your applications?
Okay, that one has shared. Oh.
Yes, I see Google Classroom there already installed, so you can tap there and you scroll to Google Classroom.